Welcome everybody. Today's video finds us over here in Ayutthaya, and I'm right in front of like the Rajaphat Institute of Technology or something like that. There's a university right here, and right next to the university is the old canal, and then there's a massive temple. We're going to take a look at Wat Suan Luang Khangkhao. Now they don't really know exactly when this was built. They think it was built under the reign of King Narai, but the records were lost after the Burmese sacked the city. Now there's not a whole lot left here. It's a restored ruin, but mostly what you see is the base of a gigantic ordination hall. And then there's a couple little chedis that are over here also. And we'll take a look around and see kind of what there is here, and I'll tell you a little bit about what I know. So right over there is one little chedi that's just down to the base, and then this is the university. And then you can just see right over there by the kind of the bleachers behind them, there's another temple, and then there's another temple over on the other side. That one of them was a royal temple over there, and the other one was like the temple of the lion, like Ta Sing or something like that. I've done a couple of videos over there, but I haven't came over and looked around at this temple here and made a video of it. I've been here once and it was raining and I didn't stop and look. It wasn't really worth my time. So let's see this. Let's look in this ordination hall, and then I'll show you the couple chedis right behind. So what you can see here, this is where the ordination stones were, and they would have been around the perimeter. And then way back over there is a couple little more chedis. And this temple here had a front porch and a back porch. And it's just down to the base. There's a little bit of the walls sticking up, and there's no real way to get up there. You just kind of got to shimmy up over the wall, and we'll do that. And you can see this is just absolutely massive. Not sure how big it is. It's in a rectangle, and it has a front and back porch, which denote the Ayutthaya styling. Okay, so I had to climb up the wall, and you can see it's just down to the base, but this place was just absolutely colossal. So this would have been a little entryway right here, and it would have had a back door, and then this would have been the porch, and it would have had the little sloped roof, which would have been quite nice, with the like the red pillars right here, and then it would have had, you know, the tiles and all of that. And then you would have came into it, and there would have been all of these support beams. This is just absolutely massive. The monks would have been set up over here. There would have been a stage for them, and this is facing east. Now there was like, what was his name, one of the Ayutthaya kings, Phetracha or something like that. He had a royal palace near here, and this was kind of on the boundary, and there's a canal just on the other side of this wall, which was an important canal. And if you look over this way right here, and you go about 200 meters or so, that is the Chao Phraya River. So these would have had octagonal columns right here, and you can see there would have been a brick core, and they would have been shaped like octagons. And then right up here would have been a humongous Buddha statue. And I'm not sure how tall these walls would have been. I don't know if they would have been a little taller than that. But this is built up on a hill here, so it wouldn't have flooded like everything else in the little lowlands. So this would have been probably a really prestigious temple right here. And then this would have been the pedestal where it's at, where the Buddha was at. And then this is the back wall. So you can see how thick the walls were. These were a little thinner. They weren't load-bearing walls like some that you'll see. Some of them are really quite thick, and they wouldn't have had the support beams on the inside. But these were a little thinner. They would have still held some of the weight of the roof, but not the whole weight. And then you can see just a little bit of plaster. There's no detail work, but the base down there you can still see would have been the normal Ayutthaya styling. And there would have been a back porch on it. And this is kind of a neat little hall. Just to give you an idea of the size of it. It's probably a good 40 meters long or so, and probably like 20 meters wide. You can see that they did some restoration here, but now the base of it is kind of collapsing down. So the floor is in jeopardy of washing away. and this would have been the outer wall here. You can see the styling along. This would have been too big to make it look like the junk where it would have been bowed in the middle, but the styling is the same. And it would have had a little lower walkway right here. And then these are where the marker stones would have been. This looks like a replica here. It's too new, but you can see how the base would have had, and it would have been decorated up when it would have been quite nice. All right, let's go over here and let's look at these chedis down through these trees. And there's just a little bit of the styling right there still of the plaster. Now this was declared a national monument in 1941 by the Fine Arts Department. You can see here this back wall would have had a huge tall column. That would have been the porch here. So just to give you an idea, these are just absolutely massive. Now they're square columns. They're not the octagon like what would have been inside, but this would have been a porch here, and there would have probably been like a large standing Buddha right there. And then there's a chedi there and another one over here in the trees. This is one of the chedis. There's not a whole lot left of it. It's just mainly down to the core. Not sure the styling of it, if it would have been like a prong or what. There's no way to really tell. And then right over here, you can see a little bit of the water. That is the old Khlong, or the canal, and that would have went right out to the Chao Phraya River. And there's a little bit of the bases and stuff here from some of the other buildings. Now there's no Wehan on this site, so I'm not sure if it was where that running track is for the university now, or if it would have been on the other side of the canal, or what it would have been, but there's no traces of it anymore. So this one here would have been a late Ayutthaya style chedi. You can see the indented corners right there, and it would have went up probably another tier. And then we have one more chedi over here. Now there's some records about, there was a dispute with the Cambodian king. There was some succession problems, and one of the Cambodian kings had to flee Cambodia, and one of the Thai kings, Tsep, I believe was his name, he agreed to let the Cambodian king come here to Ayutthaya and settle. And he settled right over here, him and his party, settled right over here by this temple. The records say like the Temple of the Flying Fox, which I'm not sure which one that is, but the Cambodians all set up residence here and lived in exile. So this one here would have been quite cool. There would have been a little nook right up there for some Buddha images, and you can see the indented corners and all of that. And then here is the top of it, is just down here. And now they got these old junk cars, and there's some houses and stuff over here. And it's kind of cool. You see this little hole right here at the bottom of the chedi, how it's kind of arched? That is styling that was popularized during the reign of King Narai. So that's another one of the things why they believe it might have been built in that reign. Now right here next to the chedis, you see these are the locals. They got some hammocks set up, and then they have their clothes and everything drying over here. And they're just using a little bit of the temple grounds for that. So that's going to finish up a little video over here at this this temple, the temple of the Royal Park with the flying bats or mini bats. It's a nice enough ruin. The ruin itself is just absolutely massive, but there's just not a lot to see. It's in such terrible condition. It's was just collapsed down, and the Fine Arts Department came in and they renovated what you see here. And like I said at the start, nobody really knows when this temple was built, but they can just kind of guess. It was built probably middle Ayutthaya and then renovated in the late Ayutthaya styling. It's nice enough to come and climb around and look at. This is the kind of stuff that I like to do. I had a little bit of free time on a Sunday, so rode my motorcycle over from Bangkok up to here just to look around. I love to do this kind of stuff. So anyway, this was a simple video, but you know, just another one of those of hundreds and hundreds of temples that are here in Ayutthaya. And I'm out exploring them. I like to walk around and see them. This is stuff that you don't normally see. These are definitely out of the way temples that tourists just don't know about. So if you like this kind of content, see stuff that is a little bit different, then stick around, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. If you have any questions or if you know anything more about this temple than I do, let me know in a comment down below. I'd appreciate the information. And definitely smash the like button. And I'll pin a comment to the two little temples that are nearby if you want to take a look at those. One of them is quite cool. It was an old royal palace with that they had like the gold tiles and stuff like that. So anyway, I'll pin those comments to those 2 videos if you want to see them. And until next time from over here in Ayutthaya, remember, life is a journey. Enjoy.